Mack. I'm the head instructor of Krav Maga Nation with schools in Philadelphia and Bucks County, Pennsylvania. What we're going to show tonight is the defense of gun from the front, Krav Maga handgun defense from the front, but we're going to show it a little bit differently. We're going to show it from a seated position. The way I approach these kind of awkward positions is we have to explain what's the most important aspect of the defense and how do we train that and improve that. Most of you guys have learned Krav Maga gun defense where we have to redirect the line of fire, we control the weapon, we attack, and then we take away. The most important aspect of that was the redirection of the line of fire. Even though it's the first step, it's also, I never go back that step. I never go back into the line of fire. The first thing in defense aids into the control and then the takeaway, but it keeps me farther away from the line of fire at all times. When we're sitting down, things are changed. You know, you can't move as forward as quickly as you did before. One of the problems I have with teaching students is I'm finding out what many bodywork instructors find out is that people don't move as efficiently as they should. And our Krav Maga techniques, EME designed them to be based on your natural hand movements. This hand goes to the gun because it was based off the reaction of some EME's brother pulled a gun, his father's gun on him, and he turned around and his hand went out to the gun. So that's a natural instinct. Just like choke defense, the hands go to the throat, so we build off that and make it a defense. Or 360, your hands come up, we build off of that. But we have to move in the most efficient way possible so we don't put ourselves into the line of fire, we don't telegraph our movements. Those are the biggest problems, is people have telegraphic movements, or they move around and they put themselves back into the line of fire constantly. So we do some of these exercises to set us up for efficient movement. I take them from the teachings of a guy named Moshe Feldenkrais, who was an Israeli physicist, but he was also a judo champion and was responsible for kind of codifying the syllabus that instructors used to teach judo in Europe, primarily in France. He organized things and he approached it from a scientific model. And he looked at the injuries he had accumulated in judo, and he saw that the body was designed as a machine with hinges and pulleys and structure, but we don't come with an owner's manual. So people just learn on their own how to move their bodies. You know, they have injuries, and then they adapt to the injuries. So we always like to say that by the time you're 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, you're accumulation of habits. You know, you don't move functionally or efficiently. You move based on these habits, whether they're good habits or they're bad habits. So we try to eliminate those habits. For instance, for seated position, if I was to tell people just to get up out of a chair, many people will push down on the arms and push up. Or you see people doing this rocking back motion to kind of gain momentum. And Feldenkrais would see that you're using way too many muscles. You know, it should not be a full body movement of getting up out of a chair. It should not need the hands. It should just be efficient brace, pushing up. So to do that, you can warm up with a couple little exercises we like to do here. I'll start off with this movement. This movement's like a wave. My knee's coming down, then the other knee comes down, and then I push up, and I come up to a seated position again. You notice my posture does not change. At all times, my toes are activated, putting pressure and forward movement on my toes, but my posture stays the same. That's one drill. The other drill is to come the knees down, and then using that same toe movement of going straight up. My posture does not change. I am not alternating sides, straight down. So you can see it from this angle. It's going up, down, and coming back, and up. The toes and the pelvic girdle here, the pelvis, is coming forward. It's slanted now. I'm moving back. I'm driving my femur. That's what it should feel like. You're driving your femur up under your hip and pushing up. So the body, lower body, calves, toes, pushing up is the only thing that's moving. My posture stays the same. This is efficient functional movement that Feldenkrais would talk about. Gun from the front from a seated position. The first thing I have to do is redirect the line of fire. That stays the same. The hand goes to the gun, it rotates it over. You can see my upper body, my head's already moving forward, but now comes the hard part, getting up so that I'm not in the line of fire, and getting up quick enough that he can't move back and put me in the line of fire. So he should start feeling pressure as soon as you do this. And now pushing up off my toes like I did in that drill, coming forward, and hitting. And of course I'm stopping there. I should do the disarm and everything, but I don't want to get out of view of the camera. I want you to worry about getting up. The widest part of your body is here. This is the target. So I'm off that line of fire. Hand defense, body defense. Hands staying close. My toes already activated at this point. I'm already putting pressure on his hand and ready to move forward so that as I come up, I'm punching, doing the disarm, take away. The Israeli military likes to do things in sets of 3, so do I. Past 3 steps, people's mind and their decision-making process gets cloudy. Less than 3, and you're not showing details. Everything in Krav Maga pretty much can be broken down into 3 steps. Really left line of fire is 1. Controlled attack and getting up is 2. Take away, disarm is 3. But you should concentrate on this. If you have anything to do at home, put the gun down, is just getting up. My posture stays the same. I can alternate, make my legs wider, push up. Don't use anything from the waist up. Concentrate on the contact with the ground, activating the toes, getting up. So the direction you want to go to is forward. When the hand comes, my head is already moving slightly ahead of my toes, and now I'm pushing up with the toes and driving into the attacker and pushing that onto him. So that I'm not doing this, which is wrong, which is this, get up, and then stepping in. It's wasted movement. It's not functional, and you'll get shot. When I fire, go up, do the disarm. It's the same thing from a seated position, hostage situation. Hand comes up, and I'm driving up with the toes and getting up. It's the easiest way to get up. Stay there. I'm here on my toes. I don't want any problems. The gun comes up. I'm line of fire. Attack, take away. Get off the line. And that's your disarm right there, take away. We go into a lot of detail about the disarm or anything, because I just wanted to show you how practicing, retraining your body to move efficiently, to be functional, approaching the human body as a machine, doing certain exercises that fit in with that, and how all your bad habits that have accumulated in life, that you don't even, most people don't even think about how to get up out of a chair. Krav Maga, carjacking scenarios, we have a whole system for getting the seatbelt off and getting out of your car. People don't think of that. Oh, that's not a self-defense situation. Getting out of the chair is not a self-defense situation. But when there's a gun on you, everything changes. And this happens all the time. News stories of people being held at gunpoint on the ground or in a seated position, hostage scenarios. Train that. That's why I showed it to you. You can practice it. Feel it yourself. You should feel it in your toes, pushing on your calves. I don't feel anything up here. Right? I'm lazy. I prefer to just have my feet do everything for me. I don't want to be extra tired for no reason. Or when you start incorporating all those extra movements, that's when things start becoming more telegraphic. That's when the hands are everywhere. Now you're staying tight and doing the defense and the disarm. Everything stays the same no matter where you are. You're coming up and doing the disarm. My name is Kevin Mack. If you have any questions, email me through philadelphiakravmaga.com, and I'll answer any questions you may have. Look at some of the other videos. We will be restructuring those soon, so there's a nice progression in the order of solo drills, fundamentals, advanced techniques. Thank you.